I'm very pleased to announce that early this summer, there will be 2 major social systems coming online.
Hey, what's up guys, this is Liam or Weagle on your Overwatch, back with a new video. Today, we're going to be talking about more rank changes coming soon, and then more in the summer. We have some information, and then Jeff and Scott were very vague on some of the other information that they gave us. So on screen, I will put up a big post bit by Scott Mercer on the forums, and I will also be talking about a video that Jeff did regarding the changes coming later in the year. The first thing is that the initial development of the feature only allows people to avoid 2 players, but they want to increase that limit over time as they become more confident that it doesn't negatively affect matchmaking. I think this is good news, particularly for people that are at ranks where there are a lot of players, because sometimes you need to avoid 5 people in a day. Other days maybe you don't, but sometimes it just feels like everyone's tilted and you need to avoid more and more people. So if we could get 5 or even 10 eventually, I think is very reasonable, and would be able to avoid more players to kind of control that game experience. Another thing that's coming is that they're introducing more ways for the game to tell you when you're the person being a problem in other people's eyes. If you're getting a lot of reports from other players in game, whether it be heroes you're picking or voice chat, text chat, any of that stuff, then you will be told now before you are suspended. And moving on from that, currently you can get chat banned for abusive chat. Well, they're actually going to be making this a permanent bannable offense if you keep doing it. So you will be warned that you've been chat banned. That'll be one way of telling you, like, look, stop doing this, stop being the guy that's causing the problem. And then you'll be banned permanently if you have been warned, then suspended the 3rd time, 3 strikes, and you're out. Next up, they're actually building some systems as well, which I kind of understand as a bot in the chat that's going to be picking up more and more of this chat abuse and being able to tell when people are being abusive in game and accurately punish them for it. So now we get on to what I think is the more positive stuff, and I have high hopes for what we're hinted at here, because honestly this other stuff to me feels like a band-aid. If people could just play with their friends, which Blizzard have spoken about before, we want people to have more reasons to play with their friends. Well, as the game currently sits, there are still punishments in place if you play in more than a 2-stack, like long queue times, harder enemies, more smurfs on the other teams, less cooperative teammates. It balances the teams the more people that you have, and it makes it pretty rough to rank up, which is why people don't queue. And I think that that needs to be more focused on, because we're actually spending more time punishing people that are being toxic than just encouraging good play. And I think that's the direction we need to go in, and I think the Blizzard know what the problems are, and whether we agree or disagree with them on what the fix is, I think a positive one is definitely something they'll be going for when it comes to the summer. And what we know is that there's 3 big changes. I'm hoping that this system that's coming into place to detect bad behavior isn't one of these systems, but we should be getting one, by the sounds of it, early summer, then midsummer, then the end of summer. And Jeff has said that this is so that you can control your experience more in the games that you play. And I actually have some thoughts on what this could be, and I'd like to hear yours in the comment section down below, because there's quite a few ways that this can go. So it could be as simple as preferring a player. So if you avoid a player, you're not going to get them on your team. Well, what if you prefer a player and you're way more likely to get them on your team? That way you could prefer 50 players and you'd likely regularly be playing with the same people, and your games would be better. There's also systems that could help you control your experience, which could be a map vote system, so you don't play certain game modes, because I don't think anyone should ever have to play 2CP in ranked, because even though I believe it's the best game mode, it is the worst game mode when it comes to disorganized play. So I'd rather never play that game mode again in ranked. And then of course we think a little bit more outside the box. I think role preference queue is the most likely think that's going to be one of these big 3 changes. And the reason I believe that is because when we did an interview with Jeff 6 months ago, he said that he could maybe see a role preference queue, but that's about as far as it can get because, of course, sometimes 3 tanks in one composition is good, sometimes 3 DPSs, or even 3 supports and 1 tank, or 3 tanks and 1 support. So there needs to still be ways that you can flex pick. So having a preference queue would give you a bunch of heroes to say you play, and then you would be trying to pick them around your team. Now, I don't know how many problems this fixes, but it does fix some of the problems. Other systems, of course, could be clan systems, so that you would be rewarded, which is another word Jeff used in his video where he spoke about this, being rewarded for good team play. Now, again, I think we should just be playing with who we want to, rather than being rewarded when we're forced to play with other people. But it's a good system if it is something like a clan system. So you have 50 people in your clan, you all play competitive, and you can play it together. Maybe there's less restrictions on who you can play with. I think we've made our opinion clear on that boosting is nowhere near as big of an issue as the current matchmaker is. You have to weigh up what evil do you want in your life. Do you want 0.1% of the population quote unquote boosted because they play Lucio at plat normally, but now they play with their master's friend? Or would you rather the entire system was broken like it currently is? We have to decide what we want. So being able to queue with more of our friends again is a good option. Team queue as well, and broken record watch. Of course, we've covered all of this before, but there's no way that one of these 3 changes isn't what I've just said. It's going to be some kind of role preference or map veto, something along them lines. I'm just not really sure where Blizzard are going to go with this at this point. If they just remove restrictions, or a lot of them, so we can play with who we want, most of this toxicity issue goes away, because if you're having toxicity issues with people that you choose to play with, you just don't play with them anymore. It really is quite that simple. So I think Blizzard are attacking this with a very complicated approach when maybe it doesn't need to be, but I would also like to put some faith in that they are intelligent people, and that hopefully we'll be seeing some way to just make our games in ranked better, because I think no matter what rank you're at, or what your opinion on what the problem is or the fix, we all agree that something ain't right. So let us know what you think in the comment section down below, guys. I love reading through your thoughts, and I think that this one really deserves some discussion. So be sure to drop a like if you enjoyed, as it really does help us out, and it lets us know you're enjoying the content, and you're going to want to hit that bell icon so that you get notified when our videos go live. Be sure to have a great day as always. Take care and peace, people.